Live. Good evening and welcome to Oxford Town Council Committee, the whole meeting for Monday, October the 3rd, 2022. Before I call the meeting to order, I'd like to remind everyone there is a community consultation meeting on October 19th, 2022 at 6:30 at the Capitol Theatre. Please join us in discussing current policing services in the town of Oxford. First up, I need to call for an approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Jones. Do we have a seconder? Second by Councillor McNutt. All those in favor of the agenda say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Thank you. Next up, approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Yeah, I've got Councillor Colburn, move, second by Councillor Black, all those in favor, aye. Aye. Carried. New business, fire hydrants, and I'm gonna turn the floor over to our intrepid CAO, Linda.
Thank you, Richard. So there's been an idea passed around, and I've talked to many of the councillors, but just to get a formal okay, if council is okay, we would like to organize here at Inwise through possibly the recreation department, municipal physical activity leader as well. We're speaking with him today about painting our fire hydrants with characters. We would stay within the guidelines on what colors the tops would need to be, so the firefighters would know which ones they can hook into for firefighting. The tops would be the right colors, whether I understand red hydrants are anything below 500 gallons per minute. Blue hydrants are anything 1,500 gallons per minute or more. But this was an idea that was brought forward from a community member, and we thought it's a great idea, but we want to make sure council is all on board and any suggestions or guidelines, but we would like to see this moving forward.
You need a motion for that?
Yes, yeah,
I have a question.
yes.
Did you say blue are 1,500 gallons a minute or more, or did I misunderstand?
No, it says blue hydrants are 1,500 gallons per minute or more. Or as stated, whatever the guidelines are, we'll make sure we have the right guidelines.
Yes,
But
we used to paint the ones that were blue that were no good, so it's the opposite now.
it is, yeah, it's under the NFPA standards for fire hydrants.
I knew they were gonna change that. Okay, sorry. about that.
No worries. Good.
Okay, Councillor Jones, you have a motion?
Yes, I'd like to move that we approve that painting of fire hydrants, providing that it follows the guidelines set forth.
Moved by Councillor Jones, second by Councillor McDonald. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Next up, reports of town departments, public works, 5.1. You've all got that in your package. Anyone have any questions regarding that? Okay, no questions. 5.2 was sent out separately. I don't know if everybody's had a chance to see that.
It's on your desk.
It's on your desk,
Single paper.
single page somewhere here.
So with the fire department, they did raise a question regarding bumper gear. It is a budgetary item, which is in our budget. And so I was speaking with fire chief today. If they would like to spend that budget item during the budget GL, it's there for them to use. So it doesn't necessarily need to go through council, but I just wanted to make that note. He did bring that up in the council notes there for his report.
I'm glad they got the quotes, because that's a huge,
Yeah,
Big
very
price
good.
difference.
Yeah.
There's 4 different quotes, very good prices.
Anybody have any questions regarding the fire report, the fire department report? No?
So according to this, the fire department had no calls within the town. Every call this in the month of September is in the town.
All
that's
county
right.
calls.
Yeah. Okay, next up, the municipal physical activity leader. He's got a report. He should be in your package as well. Does anyone have any questions for the CEO regarding that?
I do, your worship.
Yes, go
I just
ahead.
want to point out, just so everyone's aware, that the Christmas parade date has been set for November 25th.
Thank you. And last in reports is the CAO report. So
and also administration.
And administration. So anybody have any questions for Linda? If not, could we have a motion to accept those reports as presented? Moved by Councillor Colvin, second by Councillor McNutt. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Next up, we'll call on Councillor McNutt for a Recreation Commission verbal report.
The only thing I was gonna say, and Linda took it from me. The parade number 25th, and I was speaking with Santa today. So
Okay.
Santa is aware and will be here with Mrs. Claus.
Excellent. Thank you. Next up, solid waste management, that's in the report. It's quite lengthy, but
I have a few points to
yes,
point out.
go ahead. please.
So with this report, the coordinator made note that during the Oxford exhibition, she had worked with the exhibition staff and provided green bins and signage to ensure that the exhibition was set up for proper sorting. So I just wanted to announce that, as well as the household hazardous waste events. We had one in Oxford and 20 vehicles had showed up. And what it was regarding, it was accepting acids, aerosol cans, antifreeze, batteries, gasoline, herbicides, pesticides, propane tanks, and pool cleaners. So, and they were talked about, and sorting as well at this time, and it was a time that they could get rid of some of these items that you can't normally get rid of in the trash. It's nice to see it, 20 vehicles attended that.
Excellent. Thank you, Linda. Do we need a motion to accept those two reports?
Yes, please.
Could I have a motion moved by Deputy Mayor McDonald? Do we have a second? Second by Councillor Jones, or Black, sorry. All those in favor say aye. Motion carried. Next up, call for adjournment for this meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Jones, meeting adjourned. Don't run off, folks, we have another meeting for you. Okay,
Clarification on that, meeting at the theater, what date was that?
19th.
The 19th?
It's October 19th at 6:30 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order, the special meeting in the Oxford Town Council to order for Monday, October 3rd, 2022. I'd like a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Jones, second by Councillor Black. All those in favor for approval of the agenda, say aye. Aye, motion carried. First on the list, working alone policy. That's in your package. Linda, and the floor over to you.
Yes, so this was presented at the last committee of the whole meeting back in September. And so this here was stemmed from our health and safety committee meetings. There's a fair bit of working alone. And so there's a standard policy, so it's a safe way of working alone. And so the plan has been put together and in the package, it was reviewed at the last committee of the whole, and we're looking hopefully for an approval to accept this policy as presented.
Anybody have any questions? We need a motion to approve as presented. So moved by Councillor McNutt, seconder.
Second.
Second by Councillor Goldberg. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Next up, Town of Oxford visa limits. Linda?
Okay, so this here was another item that we had talked about at committee of the whole meeting in September. There was discussion about our visa limits. We do have a policy and we're looking to see about getting that amended to change for higher limits. The reason is that now we used to have 3 different department cards and now we're down to 1 department card plus the mayor's department card. And we use that 1 department card for all departments. As well, it's more frequent way of paying now than checks. Checks seem to be going away and it's more common to pay with the visa, the town visa. So what we're looking for, and I'm just going to open that up here. There was discussion about paying more frequent, and we did have that discussion. But it would be, the administration would have to watch it more closely more often, and it is a fair bit of time to go in and to do that, just to make note. So we're looking to see about changing the mayor's limit from 5,000 to 3,000, and to change what we call the CAO visa, but it's really the town visa, from 5,000 to 9,000. And then currently at this moment, we have no visa cards out to any other directors.
We have a motion to approve that.
I'll make that motion, York.
Moved by Councillor Jones, second by Deputy Mayor McDonald. All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye, contrary minded, motion carried. Next, number 5, tax and water collection policy.
Thank you, Your Worship. So this one here was another one that we did at the last committee of the whole. And during that, there was a motion passed to accept that we change the dates from June 30th to September 30th when reviewing for the tax sale. So because that is when we do the final taxes is in September. Sorry, yes, in September. Looking to change that date from the June 30th to the September 30th date for review for tax sale to line up with our tax bill.
I'll make that motion.
We have a seconder. Second is moved by Councillor Black, second by Councillor McNutt. All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye, contrary minded, motion carried. Next up, Town of Oxford Violence Prevention and Policy Procedure.
Okay, so this one here, thank you, Your Worship. This here stemmed actually from our insurance. There's new policies and procedures that are out there, and ours was really out of date. So we took this and we brought it forward to the health and safety. They have reviewed it. We did review it at the last committee of the whole meeting, and we're looking for approval of the Town of Oxford Violence Prevention Policy and Procedure. And this would include for staff and counselors. And volunteers.
And volunteers. We have a motion to approve. Moved by Deputy Mayor McDonald. Do we have a seconder? No, second by Councilor McNutt. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Number 7, municipal boundary direction for CAO in regard. We discussed this at our last council meeting. Linda's done some research on what other towns have done with how many councilors for the CAO and their population and the committees. I'll turn the floor over to you, Linda.
Okay, so researching, I've spoken with a couple of towns that currently have gone from 6 to 4. And one was, let's see here, we were speaking with just Shelburne here, just right today. And everything works great. It's, there's a lot less committees. They actually had a clerk system as well and changed to the CAO position as well. So the committees have changed into more of a broader amount of committees rather than internal so much. So I'm just going to list off the ones that have number of councillors that have 4 and I'll list off the populations and that may help as well. So Annapolis Royal has a population of 409. These are 2016 census, by the way. Okay, these are not the current census. So Annapolis Royal has 490. They have 4 councillors. Clark's Harbor has 758 at 4 councillors. Digby has 2,060 at 4 councillors. We have Lockport at 531 with 4 councillors. Mulgrave has 772 at 4 councillors. Pictou has 3,186 at 4 councillors. Port Hawkesbury has 3,214 at 4. Shelburne has 1,743 at 4. Stellarton has 4,208 at 4. Trenton has 2,474 at 4. Westville has 3,680 at 4. And I can go down with the ones that have 6, just to make it so you guys are all good. So Amherst, has a population of 9,413 at 6. Antigonish has 4,363 at 6. Berwick has a population of 2,509 at 6. Bridgewater has a population of 8,532 at 6. Kentville has a population of 6,271 at 6. Lunenburg has a population of 2,263 at 6. Mahone Bay has a population of 1,036 at 6. Middleton has a population of 1,832 at 6. New Glasgow, 9,074 at 6. Then there's Oxford, and then there's Stewiacke, 1,373 at 6. Wolfville has 4,195 at 6, and Yarmouth, 6,518 at 6. So this to give you some comparisons of between either 4 or 6. But I need direction so I can apply to utility review board to get our process started, because we need to get this in and finished before the end of the year. So we need
Good question.
Go ahead, Counselor.
The ones that have 4,
to.
that have gone to 4 counselors, what advantage do they see with 4 counselors?
Well, the advantages is definitely the elections. It's less people they have to attract for counselor. It is a financial burden that a lot of them set. It was a financial reason why they went from 6 to 4.
Just a question or a comment.
Go ahead.
I don't feel that we would be saving any money, because I think what you'd have to do is divide that honorarium amount into 4 instead of 6. I think it's probably to do a consensus of what each of those municipalities pay for 4 counselors. And I think that Oxford should be brought up to that level, you know, in the average. I think you'll probably find that we're the lowest paid, but I'm, you know, and I think that would be something to look at for the next election. If you're going to go to 4, I think you should also bring the honorarium up so that it does attract some people that, because it could be a part-time job, basically, as some of us have realized in our time that we spent. So, and not that I wanted more money or anything, but I think if you're going to attract more people in an election, I think that the honorarium should be brought up to what the normal is in the province instead of the lowest.
I think the other thing is, last time we had a call for councilors for brand new council, we only had 4 people put in the name. So then we had to have a by-election, which
Right.
costs us an additional $10,000.
Exactly.
So if we have 4, maybe we'll only get 4 show up, and we won't have to have an election if we buy a claim, but if not, I think we're looking at by-election for $10,000 bill.
Right.
But I
And
think,
that's a lot of money.
I think it was a recommendation, wasn't it, the committee, that if we go to 4, that money that was used for the 2 that we don't have, go to the councilors.
Spread it out.
Be split.
I would make that recommendation too, at least that, but I also think that it should be looked at what other communities are paying for council.
I can find that.
Yeah, certainly our wages are creating a financial burden on the town.
No,
That's
no.
for sure.
This decision isn't a financial burden.
No,
so
no.
I-
Some
Go
people,
ahead, Council. Okay, Councilor, or Deputy Mayor Brown.
I'd like to bring up a question. We're a working class that's here. Sometimes it's impossible to get a full agenda for our counselors, and I think 4 for that number is not enough. Now, you didn't say an alternative for 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be even numbers.
I realize that because you break it out, but with the working class and up there, I don't know how many meetings when you could tell us that we actually had full council. With 6, what I'm saying,
How many meetings? Yeah, but we're looking to,
downside,
Yes.
but what I'm saying is, you're still gonna have that absentee. Regardless, if you got an average that you've had full council for a year with, let's say, 9 absentees. We just use that for a number, actually, I think I got it. So what I'm saying is, with 4, is that gonna serve us enough that we're gonna get a better look at what's here, ideas, different opinions? Because it's pretty easy to form a clique. And then it all goes that way. So, that's just my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So what you're saying is that you don't feel there would be
No,
sometimes
but
every 3 at the meeting instead of 4 if there's one absentee.
I
But we need 4 to make a quorum, is that right? So.
we have to change that too.
Majority.
You need just
Just
majority, so
Okay.
I guess 2 councilors and the mayor would form minimum, I mean, what's the minimum?
At 50%, you need more than 50%.
51%.
Yeah,
51%.
51, so,
I think as long as we, leave Zoom on the table, like I've zoomed in from Cuba, you
Yeah.
zoomed in from the States, like, I think, you know,
I'm not worried about.
I don't think we really missed much, like, I don't think there's been many people who've missed meetings.
no.
No, I'm just worried about, I'd like to see the committees and see how they're broken down, because really, I think everybody's pretty busy, so what you're saying is there's 2 people not doing anything, well, I don't really see that.
No, I think, well,
So we have to reduce the committees. so
I,
that
well,
can
we
do
started
work.
going through some of the committees, and some of them, we've got a CAO, the council doesn't have to decide everything anymore. We'll let the CAO do a lot of it.
But then we're just putting it back on Linda again. Right?
But there's a budget I follow, and
Yeah.
if there's any direction, I can email the council and bring forward to the council.
Like, there's a lot of repetition in all
A
the
lot of
committees we have.
Meetings don't compare to other
Yeah.
committees, ours are all, it was back when we changed from CEO to clerk, you guys had to make all these decisions.
Yeah, and I don't think asking Carla is fair, because we had this conversation today, and you are meeting heavy.
Yes.
Whereas
Yeah.
I am not as much now with recreation, now going to the MPAL. So for you, you may think, I literally can't, and we understand that you can't, because I think we decided that she does have too many.
You have
So-
books.
We worked it out, and basically with 4 councilors and the mayor, you'd be on 4 committees.
And we just have to make sure that it's not 4 committees that are really meeting heavy,
Yeah,
need to
like
go.
split it up, but we went over all the ones we can do away with. And
It's
some are,
14
yeah,
is what you quoted.
The last time, yeah,
Yeah.
we found a couple more.
found a couple more.
No, but I was
Yeah.
saying there were 14.
So I think 4, like I say, you'd be on 4 committees, but a lot of the work will be carried by the CAO now. Because that's why you have a CAO. And council's there for direction more than anything, and input. So,
Still got that safety valve in there.
yeah. And we are committed for 8 years if we do it. And if after 8 years we find it's not, or somebody finds it's not working, they can go back to 6. If they so desire.
So when is the deadline for this year?
December 31st, but I have to apply to the utility review board, and then they're gonna wanna do a public consultation. This doesn't decide it tonight.
Right.
This is just for application. They may say, no, you stay at 6.
Move forward.
That may
Yeah.
happen, because the public may come in and say, no, they would like report to remain at 6, and that's fine too.
But that's a lot of work for you, right? Between now and the end of December. you said?
Well, it's time. They need time to set up. We need time to put it in the paper, and time goes by so fast.
Everything takes time.
Yeah.
Wheels move slow.
Yeah.
If I may,
Go ahead.
I basically agree with what Councillor Jones said. It would be nice to know how much the other places are paying for councillors. And I also agree with what Deputy Mayor McDonald said. I think, personally, I think that 6 people are better to make decisions than 4.
I agree with that.
So do I. I'm just thinking, you get a stronger view of what's going on. And it's the opinion that counts, because you're here to help direct this town and keep us going. New ideas are the best ideas sometimes.
So how long can we go to the next meeting before we make a final
We
decision?
can, yeah,
We
Still
have
give us
time to,
sure.
we have
Yeah, no,
another
I-
meeting in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, I was just trying to
And
push.
maybe you could come back to us with what it's costing the other towns
For honorariums.
for honorariums.
I know we were the lowest, and I would assume we still are.
I'm assuming.
We haven't changed.
I was gonna
I started 20 years ago.
If you haven't changed in 20 years, I'm guessing we're definitely the
So
lowest.
we'll defer this to the next
So-
council meeting.
Do we need a motion to defer?
Yes.
I always say, if you're here for the money, you're here for the money.
It's a volunteer
We
position.
need a motion to defer till the next meeting.
So moved, you were
Do we have a seconder? Okay, moved by Counselor Jones, second by Counselor Black, that we defer this. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion deferred. Let's see tomorrow. Extended property, final property tax. Last week, we got hit with a hurricane, lost our power, things were shut down for a while. I discussed this with our accounting people. It is not, it's a little more work for them, but I'd like to see us extend the deadline for paying your taxes, which was last Thursday, September 30th, to this Friday, October the 7th. Some people didn't have internet, had no electricity. I'd like to see it deferred for 8 days.
Without penalties.
Without penalty, that's right.
So you got a date?
September, October 7th would be the new deadline to pay your taxes.
You need a motion for that?
Yes, we do.
So moved then?
Moved by Council Jones, second by Deputy Mayor McDonald. All those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carried. And that is everything from our agenda. Just need that motion for adjournment.
So moved, your worship.
Moved by Councilor Jones for adjournment. Meeting adjourned. We're still up, we're still on.
I had a question.